guys, Jane at the Summer Rain channel. Welcome back. Today we are going to make a do-it-yourself salt body scrub. I am absolutely in love with body scrubs. I love exfoliating my skin. I am always amazed at how different my skin feels when I'm done exfoliating. So if you want to go ahead and exfoliate your skin, this scrub is absolutely amazing. Now you might be wondering what a body scrub is. So what this is a blend of salt and oils, and it's going to go ahead and it's gently going to exfoliate your skin. So one thing you might be wondering is which is better, salt scrubs or sugar scrubs? And the short answer is neither is better. They both have their own pros and they have their own cons. So one of the pros of a sugar scrub is that it does not sting. Whereas with a salt scrub, if you have a cut or anything like that, I strongly recommend not using this because it is going to sting because you're literally putting salt into a wound. However, I find that salt scrubs exfoliate a little bit better than a sugar scrub would. And the other benefit with a salt scrub is typically they're going to have other minerals and benefits in the salt scrub that a sugar scrub just doesn't have. Now, they're both great exfoliators. They're both amazing to work with. It just really depends which one you want to use and what benefits you are looking for in your salt scrub. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention is you might be wondering, what kind of salt do I want to use in my salt scrub? And really the sky is the limit. So you could use sea salt. So sea salt is actually from the sea and they go ahead and evaporate the water out and you're left with the salt from there. You could use Epsom salt, which technically isn't a salt, but it does have magnesium and it has all kinds of benefits for your skin. You could certainly use that. If you wanted to use like a Himalayan salt, the pink Himalayan salt looks amazing in salt scrubs. It's absolutely just a beautiful product. Or you can use Dead Sea salt. So today I'm going to go ahead and use Dead Sea salt, but just know that you can swap this out for any salt that you would like in this recipe. So one thing you do want to keep in mind is the grain of the salt. Like, this is my regular Dead Sea salt and I have coarse grain. We do not want to use that on our skin, like, at all. If you use something that's coarse like this, you're going to get skin damage. It can do all kinds of damage to your skin. It might cut you and then burn you because it's salt, which would be weird. What you want to do is you want to get a fine grain salt. So look at the difference here. I went ahead and I ground my salt up. So you can use a food processor, works really well. A coffee grinder is a little bit hit and miss, but I did use that a bit to grind this up. Or you can go old fashioned with a mortar and pestle, or you can just buy it. Like, you can buy it in fine grain also. Just make sure that you're never using a coarse grain salt on your skin because that is not good for your skin at all. Same thing with sugar. We wouldn't use a really coarse sugar. We'd use a very fine grain sugar because we want to gently exfoliate. In addition to the salt, we also add a little bit of a carrier oil and also some coconut oil. The reason why we add just a little bit of oil is it adds a lovely texture to this salt. So what we don't want to do is we don't want just all salt because that's going to feel really gross and weird on our skin. We want this to feel amazing. We want a little bit of hydration added in. Now here's the thing. Oil, water, they don't mix. So we're going to add just a little bit of polysorbate in there to get these to mix together. And then we're going to top it off with some vegetable glycerin or glycerin, either is fine. And what that is going to do is it really changes the consistency of it. So this makes it feel like a gel-like, a very lovely consistency. And when you're rubbing it on, the cool thing is underwater, it's going to emulsify. So you will notice that if you get some water in here, it's going to turn like a milky color. That's because everything's going to emulsify together. So at the end of using this scrub, you're not left feeling oily and gross because that would be weird. And your shower is not all slippery because we don't want that at all. It's going to be a very nice rinse off product. Now, I went ahead and added a fragrance oil to this, but you certainly could add an essential oil if that's how you prefer to make it. Whatever you want to do, however you want to customize this recipe, have a lot of fun with it. Like, there's so many things that you can do to really make this your own. So to use the salt scrub, what you do is you go ahead and get your skin wet, take a little bit of the mixture, and you are going to put it in your hand and then apply it to your skin. Now you're going to massage this in a circular motion and you are going to do this very gently. You never want to apply any type of pressure. You're just going to allow the salt to naturally exfoliate your skin. Applying a bunch of pressure could cause some damage to your skin, and that's not what we're going for at all. It really doesn't take much to get those dead skin cells up, and after using it, you are going to feel the difference. Like, it is crazy how different your skin feels before you exfoliate and after you exfoliate. Now you might be wondering, like, when should I not use an exfoliator? Okay, here is my rule of thumb. I typically use one to 2 times a week, depending how much exfoliating I need to do, how my skin's feeling. You never want to go above that. So typically I normally will do it once a week, and that's enough for my skin, but I wouldn't go more than twice a week because that really could end up irritating your skin. Now, because this is a salt scrub, you don't want to use it if you have any kind of cuts or if you just shaved or something like that. Maybe try exfoliating before you shave just so you don't have to risk getting some salt in your wounds. It's a minor inconvenience for all of the benefits that you get, and typically I don't have any problems. I don't wind up, with a bunch of cuts on my body, and it's not an issue. You wouldn't want to use this if you had like a sunburn or like any kind of skin irritation or anything like that, because exfoliating something like that is going to hurt quite a bit. So just use it when your skin is in a good, healthy place. And this is just going to take off some of that dead skin and allow new cells to come in and grow and feel amazing. Now for storing this, what I do is I just use a container like this. However, I did not use a preservative in here. So since there's not a preservative, we want to make sure that no water gets introduced into this scrub. So what I like to do is I will just put this like in a little bowl and I'll take that in the shower with me. That way I'm never worried about this getting any kind of water in here. Otherwise you're going to grow some pretty nasty stuff. Now this can last probably about a year. It's really going to depend on the ingredients that you use. So say if your coconut oil only has 3 months left on it, then it wouldn't last as long. But if you have new ingredients, this is going to last you, I'd say, roughly a year. Just keep it out of the direct sunlight, and storing it at room temperature is fine. You do want to make sure that it's in a container with a lid so it's not drying out. And I did put the full recipe for this down in the description box below. I also put a link to my blog. So on my blog, I go a little bit more in depth about all the ingredients, why we use them, what you can swap them out with, everything like that can be found on my blog. So if you want to hop over there, there is some more information and a printable recipe for your salt scrub. Without further ado, let's go ahead and make it. Here's the ingredients that we're going to use for this salt scrub recipe. The first one is your salt. Now I'm using Dead Sea salt, but feel free to swap this out for whatever exfoliant that you would like. There's all kinds of different salts that you can use. And then for my oil, I'm going to use some grapeseed oil. This can easily be swapped out for olive oil or any oil that you'd like. I would go with more of an inexpensive oil, because save the pricey ones for like the leave-on products. And then we have just a wee little bit of coconut oil. Now this is going to help keep this kind of held together. Fragrance oil or essential oil of your choice. Next we have our polysorbate 20. So if you add up the coconut oil, the grapeseed oil, and the fragrance oil that we use, this is a 1-to-1 ratio. So you need 1 part polysorbate 20 to 1 part oil. I just went ahead and added them all up. Now the reason why we want this is we want to go ahead and make sure that the oils are going to mix in, that they're going to solubilize in the water. We don't want that weird slippery layer of water in your shower, and you definitely don't want the oils to be sticking to your skin after you use your sugar scrub. Lastly, we have glycerin. You can swap this out for vegetable glycerin. Either one is fine. This is really going to add to the consistency of this product, and it's a humectant. So glycerin actually draws moisture to your skin, and it's going to hold it there for longer periods of time. Go ahead and grab yourself a heat-safe container, and we're going to pop in our coconut oil. And at the same time, we're going to pop in our grapeseed oil. I went ahead and got one of these stovetop boilers, so then that way I can actually show you me heating the stuff instead of skipping that step in my videos. What we're going to do is go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to pop a saucepan on here with a little bit of water and a silicone mat. This is just to prevent the container from like bumping around and breaking. And we're going to go ahead and pop our oils on here, and we're going to allow these to melt. Now that our oils are fully melted, we're going to go ahead and pull this off the double boiler, and I'm going to wipe the outside of the container with a cloth. To my oils, I'm going to add my fragrance oil, and I'm also going to add the polysorbate 20. And we'll just go ahead, give that a good mix. Get the polysorbate 20 and all of the oils, including our fragrance oil, to mix together. Now this container isn't going to be big enough to mix this, so I'll grab a mixing container. Go ahead and pop all of our polysorbate 20 and all of our oils into our container. To this, we're going to go ahead, we're going to add the glycerin. I really like to mix all of my liquids together before I get the salt in there. Once you get the salt in, it's harder to get everything to mix together. So this way I can really spend some time getting all of my liquid stuff to mix together really well. And then we will add in our salt. And we'll go ahead, we're gonna pop in our salt. Now I'm gonna add about half in, mix it in, and then we'll add the rest in there. And then we'll give that a really good mix. As you can see, it's turning into a very lovely consistency. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and pop this into our container. And there is the final consistency of your salt scrub. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy making and using your salt scrub as much as I did. Bye!